Hey Facebook friends, happy Tuesday morning to you. It's Tuesday. Just doing a quick Facebook Live for you before I head out to pick up kids and do that whole rigmarole that I've been talking about on Instagram. And if you follow me on my Instagram stories, you'll know that getting kids to where they need to be during the summer when you have two teenagers is chaos. So listen, I'm going to talk to you guys today about a topic that I've talked about in my coaching group to the women that I get to coach there, about how you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Okay, who has heard that saying? Hi Dion, I'm glad you're here, honey. Tell me if you've heard that saying. I believe Jim Rohn was the one that originally coined that. Hi Caitlin, hi Becky. Got my unsweetened iced tea. It's a good Tuesday. Have you heard that saying that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with? Okay, when I first heard that saying, probably 5 or 6 years ago, I was like, wow, mind blown, because it actually, he says that so that we can examine every part of our life, okay? Things like how we're doing financially, how we're doing in business, how are you doing spiritually, how are you doing in your health, okay? So if you look at let's just give health for an example, all right? So let's look at the area of health. And if I think to myself, okay, who do I hang out with the most? Are they relatively healthy, or are they have, health issues and they don't exercise, they don't treat their bodies right? Because you can't hang out with 5 people who are like super good at taking care of themselves and continue to not take care of yourself. Does that make sense? Hi Norma, hi Gina. Hey Clara, thank you. It's my, it's like my Phyllis Diller do. Okay, and so the same thing applies in every area of your life. If you look at the 5 people that you're most closest to in terms of, how much you all kind of make financially, you'll probably be in a very similar playing field. If you look at the 5 people you hang out with most and kind of examine where you are all at spiritually, it's probably going to be very similar. So some of you who are going, you know what, I'd really like to get closer to God. I would really like to start my walk back up with the Lord. I would really like to pick up my faith that I put down when I was a teenager. Well, look at the 5 people you are the most closest to, and if none of them are walking with the Lord, it's going to be exceptionally difficult for you to do that. Hey, thanks Jessica. It's from Gypsy Ranch on Boutique. And so whenever you have an area of your life that you're like, dang it, oh, I'm struggling here, like I really need to do better here, you've got to examine the 5 people that you are spending the most time with. Now, here's what I want to point out to you, okay? So many times we think, well, online relationships don't really count. Like, I'd have never met, these people in real life, so that doesn't count. You guys, that's hogwash, okay? That's poppycock. That is BS. It's whatever. We are consuming stuff that's online at like record amounts, right? Record amounts. So we're constantly taking in this stuff that we're seeing on social, the videos that we're, watching, what you guys are consuming right now, the posts, the whatever. And it is immersing us in thoughts. Every time we log on to our Facebook page, every time we open up our Twitter, every time we go to Instagram, it is spending time with people. Don't think that it's not, okay? And so if you are wanting to change an area of your life, let's say your business, and you're struggling in some areas, but you don't know why, I want you to examine the 5 people you're spending the most time with online, okay? This includes groups that you belong to online that are not positive, that are drama, that are not honoring to other business owners. So if you belong to groups who at all ever are undermining other businesses, backhanding other people who are trying to do something good in the world, get out of them, okay? Because that type of crap is contagious. If you're leading one of those groups, knock it off. God doesn't bless any of that nonsense when you're trying to elevate yourself by cutting others down, okay? So I have backed out of a ton of Facebook groups that I could, learn from and things, but a lot of times we're in Facebook groups online because we feel almost manipulated into being there, or afraid to leave because then so-and-so will know. Okay, well, just unfollow. quit getting all the posts. Yes, amen, Tanya. Right, Lori? And so, even if it's in your own industry, you don't have to belong to all of those groups. I'm going to free you up right here. I'm going to impart freedom to you, okay? You don't have to. The very fact that you feel manipulated into being in that group is a really good sign. You probably shouldn't be there. You probably shouldn't be there. And, my friend Carrie, the other day, her and I were talking about, what did she call this? Being a caller outer? Is that what she called it? Carrie Rabina, if you're on here, remind me what it was. But she was just saying that her heart is so convinced and so committed to when she sees bullying online. And I'm not talking, teenagers bullying teenagers. How many of you know that grown women are doing that sorts of nonsense to other grown women online? It's true. It is the truth. There is so much drama, and we women are a little savvier than what teenage boys and girls are, okay? So we may do it in a little underhanded, I love her butt way, or she's awesome but then we're cutting down and blah, 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 blah. You guys, you need to unlink arms with all that drama if you want God to take you in your life where you're wanting to go, okay? And so I know that my battle cry is, Lord, create in me a pure heart. Help me to see, with fresh eyes what's going online, and to stop following accounts that, oh my gosh, I really like what that lady posts, but every time I see one of her posts anymore, I just get irritated. I get irritated. She's a public figure, and I love the majority of what she's saying, but every time I see stuff now, I'm feeling kind of worked up. Okay, good sign to stop following. Good sign to stop following. Because you innately, all those accounts that you're following and all those groups you're in, you start developing similar mindsets, and you start developing similar tendencies, and you start getting your own thinking twisted and turned. And before you know it, you're like lining up with things that you never meant to line up with. So back yourself out of some of that stuff, okay? My pastor has a saying, and I don't think he coined it by any means, but show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And so that includes your online relationships, you guys. That includes the 5 people online that you're messaging back and forth every day. Where are those people in their life? Are they where you want to go? Are they where you want to be? Because if not, you might need to change your circle, all right? And I used to think that being friends meant being friends forever, once you got into close relationship with people, that meant you would be close forever. Okay, so that is not necessarily the truth. Sometimes you've really got to change the relationships that you're closest to, and the people you're spending the most time with, because that season is up. And it's hard when seasons are up, and it's hard when you need to kind of slowly back out of some groups, even some friendship groups, and because you're trying to go places that they can't go with you. And it's not necessarily that you're leaving them behind, it's just that you're going in different directions. Does that make sense? Oh, Tracy, I'm so glad you agree. You too, Deborah. I hope it's not too windy out here, and I hope you guys aren't seeing or aren't hearing a bunch of feedback. But I took some notes. Hang on. Let me make sure I talked about everything I want to. Linking arms with people, both in business and your personal life, is just, it's so important for where you're headed. Because linking with the arms with the wrong people will take you down the wrong road every day of the week, and you won't realize that you're on the wrong road until you're to the end of it. Does that make sense? That's right, Jamie. We all grow in some in different directions, and it's okay. It's really okay. When I see some different, things going on social media, it saddens me. And I often encourage the ladies that I'm coaching to get out of so many of the groups you're in. Just stay in the ones that are really feeding not only your business line, but your soul. Okay, but because your soul. Because 80% of business is right here. Just like abs are made in the kitchen, and 80% of your figure, or lack thereof, when mama's feeling fluffy, has to do with what you're putting in your body, and only 20% has to do with exercise, okay? So in your business, 80% of your business, for you creative entrepreneurs, and thank you for sharing this right now, I appreciate that. 80% of what happens in your business happens right here. 20% of it is executing, 20% of it's marketing, 20% of it's Facebook ads, 20% of it is your blog posts, whatever. The other 80% goes right on here. And this is affected by the 5 people you are most hanging out with. Thank you, Mary Browning, for sharing. Thank you. Tanya, how do you deal with others that feel hurt when you do that, though? You know what? I don't know that you have to necessarily make a grandiose announcement. If you're in relationships that are no longer healthy for you, and they are, somebody just said narcissistic, or they are hurting you emotionally, or they are taking you down the right path, you really don't owe a lot of explanations. At the end of the day, someday when you get to heaven, God's going to ask you about what he told you to do and the seeds that he planted in your life. And were you obedient to his call and his promptings? And so if you feel like, gosh, I know I need to quit hanging out with that chick. I know I do. She's all about the drama. I know I need to quit hanging out with her. Then you better be really obedient to that and not worry about what the other person is thinking. Thank you, Mary. I'm so glad. Becky says 3 of her 5 are Paul and Melissa, and they're watching me. Yay! Thank you. I'm so glad. Yeah, toxic people, Sunshine. I mean, it is contagious. It's contagious. It's contagious whether it's in your business, in the city you live in, you know, in your actual physical business. It's contagious in groups. It's contagious if you have a group and you've got a toxic person in there who's trying to pull other people into their toxicity and start their own little thing of drama. It's all very toxic. And so getting rid of that sooner rather than later is key, for real. Let's see. Kenneth says she's been ghosting a few of those influences, not being mean or gossiping, just quietly fading apart for them. Absolutely. That's why Mark Zuckerberg made the unfollow button. So that, you know, especially if they're friends or family or what have you, that they don't necessarily need to know that you're no longer following their stuff. But if you're going through your Facebook feed and you're seeing stuff from the same person over and over, even if it's a family or friend, and it just frustrates you to no end, just unfollow, you guys, especially during heated political times. Ain't nobody got time for that drama. Unfollow. Yeah, Jan, it is painful, and sometimes it takes us a long time to process, but otherwise, in retrospect, a lot of times after we've processed and we've seen God's hand at work, we can also see the blessing in it. Tracy says she just left therapy and should have came here. Tracy, therapy is good for everybody. Absolutely. It is good for everybody. I still do business therapy every single month. You know, you've got to guard your mind so closely, especially if you're a business owner, because owning your own business is hard enough the way it is that, you know, I tell my kids this all the time. Junk in, junk out. Junk in, junk out. Watch the stinking television you guys are watching, boys. Watch the music that you are downloading, you know, onto your little iPhone, which is downloading right into your brain, which is coming right out of your mouth at some point. Junk in, junk out. That's the way it works, okay? And so when we're consuming junk online, junk, it will eventually come out somewhere. Right, Angela? I tell my kids that all the time. Your headspace is sacred. What goes on between these ears is sacred space. You alone are responsible for managing, monitoring, and feeding that well. You just had your conversation with your kids, Angela. Good job. Nikki, yes. There's a Christian woman that I talk to on a monthly basis about my business, because every time, okay, here's how business, when you're an entrepreneur, this is what happens. You start this business. Woo! Yeah, babe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's all the honeymoon stage at first, right? Okay, so you get to doing this business a little bit, and then you get to where you're like, whew, wow, things are getting a little hot up in here. I'm having people problems. I'm a people pleaser. I've got customer problems. I can't seem to keep good help. Every time I see this on Facebook, I think that they're talking about me, and it starts up this feeling that I used to have, years ago. Or every time this happens in my business, I start feeling like I did a decade ago when that situation happened in my life, and I thought I was over it, but clearly I wasn't. This is what happens in business all the time. You'll be plugging along, and literally, how many of you are Joyce Meyer fans? Anybody? Joyce Meyer says it all the time. New level, new devil. So you'll be plugging along in your business, and spiritually, God's about to take you up to this new level. But then there's attack, there's assault, there is stuff affecting your mind, there is crap coming at you from all angles. And you have to remember, my friends, thank you guys for sharing this. You have to remember every single time, enemy don't give a jack crap of nothing about your business. That's not what he's here for. That's not why you've got crap hitting the fan at every angle in your business. He don't care about your business. He comes to steal, kill, and destroy, okay? So if he can steal your joy, he can steal your time away from your friends and family. If he can kill your dreams for your future, if he can kill, whatever vision you have, if he can kill off any future blessing for future generations, because you're going to be able to give that business down to your kids someday. So he's going to do that, okay? So he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. He wants to destroy your faith. He wants to destroy your marriage in the process. He wants to destroy your business. He doesn't care about your business. He's coming to steal, kill, and destroy everything else. And here's where he's going to assault you at, right there. And so years ago in my business, I realized that I would be trucking along in business and something would happen and instantly I'd back down. Or I'd get into a conversation with somebody and I'd feel like I needed to shrink down and make myself smaller to make them feel more comfortable. Or I would need to kind of be like, they would be talking about how rough things were and how this was sucking so much and, this is awful and complaining and murmuring. And I would feel like I kind of needed to join in on that behavior. And I'm like, whoa. Why, as a 40-some-year-old woman, am I still letting things affect me that I know better? I know better. And so, yeah, I went to a Christian counselor who counsels me in nothing but my business. And I've been going to her for a couple of years. We meet once a month. And it's amazing. All of the girls who are in my coaching group are going to get the incredible gift of this woman coming to talk to us in October. I'm having a live event in Kansas City in October for anybody that's in my coaching group. So no, don't ask me if you can come if you're not in my inner circle. But she's going to come talk to the group about mindset. She's going to talk to us about how we make decisions in our business based on life experiences that we've been through and how we can change our business and the direction of our business by getting over some of the crap and the BS that we still haven't quite dealt with in our personal life, because it'll always show up in your business every single day of the week. Every single day. Thank you, Celia, for telling Vicky to watch this. Awesome. Celia, is Vicky one of your biz buddies? My biz buddy is Carrie Robina. And Carrie and I can have very hot conversations, honest, open, and transparent. That's what my pastor calls them, about, different things that we're bumping up into in business and why we feel really weak in this area and why we feel so irritated when this happens in business. It's so important to have those buddies. No, David, it's unsweetened iced tea. I am an unsweetened iced tea girl, and I get one almost every day from McDonald's. I don't drink any soda, and so that's my vice. Yeah. Nikki says you're in the honeymoon phase of your business, but from management it won't last. You need to prepare yourself and set a solid foundation. Absolutely. Business is tough. Business is tough because when you own your own business, here is what the thing is, my friends. When you own your own business, and I have a post on my blog right now. Go to themagicbrushinc.com and you'll see this post. I have a thing like 8 ways you can tell if your business is going to make it, and it all has to do with the business owner. All has to do with the business owner. Oh, bless your heart, David. Anyway, and so one of the things is, and what was we just talking about? Because now I'm getting distracted by David not liking McDonald's at all. Okay, hang on. Let's see. Oh, I don't know. I don't even remember what I was going to say. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry about that. I got totally distracted. Okay, Nikki says, when much of this stuff happens, I know to start paying attention. God's trying to get your attention. Yes, absolutely. Go read that blog post, though, about 8 ways you can tell if you're going to make it in business, because there is nobody in business that's going to be prodding you along. You know how when you work like a cubicle job, you work a 9 to 5, somebody's going to be giving you their expectations. This is what I expect you to get done every day, Jennifer. This is what you need done by the end of the week, the end of the month, whatever. This is your goals for the quarter. You're paid based on that. Okay, ain't none of that happening when you own your own business. All right? And so you have to be able to spur yourself on, to encourage yourself in the Lord, to get your own booty up out of the bed in the morning and do your Facebook posts that you're supposed to be doing on your business page instead of being manipulating free Facebook groups and trying to create some drama. Okay, so it's self-discipline. Discipline is so important in your business, because if you're sloppy all over in that area, I guarantee you, look at the people you're hanging out with in your business. You're going to see a common denominator. I am constantly trying to put myself in the room, business-wise, with people who are so much smarter than I am, with people who are so much further along than I am. I would so much rather feel like I'm the dumbest girl in the room and struggling to keep up. You know, it's funny. I compare this. I was telling my kids the other day. My oldest son Noah is 15 and he's playing baseball right now with 16 and up kids. So he's playing with 16, 17, and 18-year-old kids. And I was telling him that when I started training for triathlons 5 years ago, that I could either train up or train down at any time, because I always felt like I was in the middle. I wasn't fast enough to keep up with the fast girls, and yet I was faster than a whole other group of girls. So I constantly felt like I was in the middle, and I was like, where do I want to train? Okay, because it's easiest for me to train down and to go with the group that would be a little bit slower than me, because then I can keep up. I can feel like a rock star. Woo! Mama's first in the group. Okay, but that's not really reality, right? Because when I would begin training with the girls who were so much faster than me, I was like finishing last, but that's where you want to be. You want to be in all areas of your life, working just to keep up with the people who are so much further than you. Hang out with people spiritually who are way further in their walk with Jesus than you are. Hang out with people financially who are further ahead than what you are. Quit hanging out with all the broke people complaining about being broke. Okay, so if in your business you want to grow your business, hang out online with business people whose businesses are where you want to go. Quit feeling like you're an amazing rock star because you're hanging out with people whose businesses are a lot smaller than you, and you're making yourself feel better about yourself because it appears and feels like you're finishing first. Does that make sense? I would way rather be the dumbest girl in the room, just trying hard with my dark brown roots to keep up. Absolutely. So, all right, hang on here. We've got weird comments. Let's ban people. Hang on, sorry about that. I've not had a problem with weird comments on Facebook before, friends, but we're gonna get rid of some people. Hang tight. Blocking, blocking, blocking. There you go, guys. Okay, so what questions can I answer for you today? Tell me. I'd love to help you. I know, Sandy, you know what, it's trolls, and I don't worry about trolls. You know, it's funny because you can have 99 people who love you. This is a good business. Lean in, friends, because this is a good business thing to listen to. You can have 99 people who love you and one who's a hater, and for some reason we listen to the voice of the hater so much more than we listen to the 99 others, and we've got to shift that around. We've got to shift that. Yeah, I did. I banned him, Nikki. So I don't even know. I don't even know how they ended up here, but bless you guys for sharing. I appreciate you. All right, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. If you are unhappy in any area of your life, look at the 5 people you are spending your most time with. Tag them here. Tag them here. Let them know I blocked them. Yeah, no problem, Deborah. You know what? I even have a post on my website too about, you know, when haters are making bad comments and things, of how to handle that, because I don't let that stuff get to me. You can't let that stuff get to you. It is meant to be a distraction. So much of what the enemy throws in our path in life is not like, you know, he's not waving this flag of destruction and sin and what have you. What he's doing is he's distracting you. And if you're foolish enough to fall for that distraction, that's when you head down the path of destruction. Been there many times. Been there many times. So, hang on. Still blocking people. Good Lord. Hey, Barbie, let's see. Yeah, you know what? It's hard, but you have to remember that the people that are hating on you, says way more about them than what it says about you. Thank you, Tiffany. I don't think I'm a godson, but bless you. Marianne, how do you leave relationships, business or personal, when you feel obligated to them? You got to first figure out why you feel obligated to them. Why do you feel so loyal to them? Do they have that same loyalty towards you? Are you actually really integrated? Or is it more just emotionally? And if it's emotionally, go get some help. Read a book. Go talk to someone and get yourself out of that. Oh, I'm so glad, Angela, you're enjoying this. You're welcome, Nicole. Hey, thanks, Candy, for being here. All right, friends, I got to go shuttle kids around. But seriously, when you are trying to figure out why you're not where you want to be in life, look at who you're hanging out with most, and that includes online. Back off some of those Facebook groups. Get out of them when they hurt your belly. Quit getting into arguments on social media. Ain't nobody got time for that. Just keep scrolling, okay? Unfollow pages that are not feeding you what you need, because you can't have all that junk in and not getting all that junk out. So bless you guys. I appreciate you sharing this so much. Thank you. How do I get over quickly? Tiffany, you know what? Those of us that are creative people and we're people pleasers, we struggle a little more with that. I can tell you, though, that that really it's the grace of God that often will help you to be able to see what the hater's saying and be like, you know what? Because this is what I personally do. I've seen plenty of bad stuff about myself. Okay, Lord, is there any truth to that? Is there any truth to that? No? Okay. Put that away. Move right along. So, you know, and I think that goes back to creating me a pure heart, oh Lord. And so we want to be in a place where we can examine things and say, Lord, is there any truth to that? Is what they're saying about me, is that comment, is that underhanded, backstabbing, piece of crap comment, is that true? Is that true? Because if so, then I need to make some adjustments. And I think that is humility. I think that's integrity. I think that's wisdom. And I think that's maturity. Okay, but if there's no truth to that, then you just turn that baby over and you move on. You move on. Yeah, Nancy, we've got birds everywhere. It is a gorgeous day in Kansas City. It was hot as you know what yesterday. I mean, it was hot, but it is beautiful today. So, bless you guys for being here. Thank you. Tony says you want to start your own business decorating, organize people's homes. You have many people tell you need to do it. You've helped a few friends with their homes. You really think you're ready, but what? You're so overwhelmed and scared. Where do you start? Well, you eat an elephant one bite at a time, Tony. So where do you start? You need to name your business. Nothing's formal without a name. Like this, let's see, hang tight. This, I couldn't just show you this without it having a name. This, my friends, is lip balm, okay? It's lipstick. It has to have a name. When you're pregnant, at some point you have to give it a name, right? So you name the thing first. Give it a name. Name your business. It's going to take this from playing around, kind of dabbling, Tony, in your mind, all of a sudden to, woo! Legit little business thing going on because I named it. So name it and then just start the process of what anybody does, what every single person does. There is, for those of us that own a business, we did the exact same thing. We were all exactly where you are right now, Tony. So you have to start with naming it. And then you have to start with, you know, a website. I got hair in my face, sorry. Or a business Facebook page. And then you got to start marketing your services and getting clients. And here's the thing. You're never going to be not afraid. So don't think that you're never going to be not afraid, okay? Because you will be afraid. The key is doing it afraid. Go read the book Crash the Chatterbox by Pastor Stephen Furtick, my favorite book of all time. Changed my mind about so many things. And basically Stephen Furtick is a pastor of, I think he has like 11 satellite churches, something like that. One of the largest churches in the United States. Love his pastoring style. I listen to his podcast all the time. And yeah, Candy, you sure can. Absolutely. Come join us. And so Stephen Furtick, you know, to everybody else, looks like he's just winning at life. I mean, he's pastoring 11 churches or something, you know, thousands in attendance every weekend. But he said he still will get up on stage and he'll hear the enemy whisper to him, boy, who do you think you are? And so he has learned how to do it afraid, because that sort of self-talk, or, you know, those feelings of unworthiness, not good enough, not smart enough, whatever. A lot of times that doesn't stop. You just have to learn how to just bulldoze right the heck through that crap and just keep going. It's called Crash the Chatterbox, Deborah. Yeah, it's great. I tell everybody that I coach, they have to read the book. Shelly, I go to the Rock of Kansas City, in Kansas City. Yeah, Kari Caldwell, I'm glad you're here, honey. It is a great book, isn't it? Especially for those people who you love to listen on Audible. Listen to it on Audible. Or for those of you who have been burned by the church and you're kind of like this with church stuff. listen to it, read it. He's very, what do I want to say? Stephen Furtick is the best I've seen at bringing relevance to God's word so that you can actually figure out like what it means for your own life today. Does that make sense? So, all right, bless you guys. Bless you guys. All right, I gotta go get kiddos. I got my little sticker here. I gotta go pick up a kid. All right, we'll talk soon. Thanks.